So, bears are the thing now, I guess. We got Cocaine Bear and we got Winnie the Pooh. Two titles I never thought I would be reviewing, but I am, and this one is Cocaine Bear. So, let's see how many pools of blood it got. But first, let's start with the IMDb plot as usual. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. Well, I guess it could have been. No, that's about pretty bad. I mean, marijuana probably wouldn't have done much. Meth might have been fun, but apparently that's for a gator. I don't know. Crazy, and it's crazy that this is supposedly based on a true story. I mean, at least that's what they said at the beginning. I don't know. I didn't do any research. So I don't know what's true, what's false here. Whatever. We hear it all the time with horror movies based on a true story, and whatever. Lots of people throw that in there, and doesn't mean much. But at least the start of this movie seems possible. That cocaine got dispersed over the forest, which was just how the movie kind of opens here, and then the fun begins. Interesting. Before I get into this, I'm looking at IMDb and it says comedy and thriller, and yeah, it has plenty of funny parts, and definitely see the thriller in it. There's a little bit of crime, mystery going in it as well. I mean, that's where the cocaine part goes through. It doesn't say horror. I don't know why they didn't put horror here. Uh, Cocaine and bear kind of equal horror, unless the bear is just gonna have a good time and party. But not in this case. There's plenty of horror in this movie, so I just thought it was interesting. Sometimes you guys know that I like to see what they list these movies as, and I just found it interesting that horror is not mentioned there. But whatever, I can tell you guys there's plenty of horror in this movie because the bear is going to rip some people apart. Uh, but before we get to that, so yeah, the backstory here, as far as the cocaine getting to the forest here, um, is that a guy on a plane. I guess the plane is going to go down, and instead of just letting the cocaine go down um, with him, he decides to get as much of it off the plane before he goes to jump off the plane. And so all this cocaine gets dispersed all over this forest. And a drug dealer uh, is going to send some of his guys to the forest to recover whatever they can find that's there, because they're good for that money, good for that cocaine. Inside the forest or near the forest is a mother with a daughter, and the mother works a lot, and she's got to go to work, and she tells her daughter um, that she's going to go to work, and her daughter wanted to go to the falls to paint the falls or do something out there, and ditches school with her friend and goes out into the forest um, to do whatever they're going to do. And along with them, you have a little bit of the ranger, and she has somebody that she's of interest that's going to coming to do an inspection or whatever. So you have them also there. You have, as I mentioned, you're going to have a couple of the drug dealers, goons going out there. You're going to have a cop that's been investigating this drug dealer all this time, and he is on the trail of where these drug dealers guys are going to go. So he's going to be out there as well. So you got a couple of different groups here. You also have some, we'll call them hooligans out there. So you have plenty of people going out into this forest for this bear to run into. And early on, the movies, got to give you a little taste of what's to come. You have two people there seeming to have like a romantic nature trip kind of thing going on there. And they spot the bear. The bear is doing some funny stuff. And it's all good until the bear notices them. And they kind of have that debate whether you run, pretend you're dead, and they pick the wrong choice. And the bear is going to go on a wild chase after them. And that kind of gets things started off. And then the fun begins. This, I credit this movie because, Cocaine Bear, off the top sounds kind of ridiculous. And they could have made a really dumb movie and just really dumbed it down and really did some stupid stuff with the bear. I thought they on par measured it very well. The bear does do some weird things here or there, but I didn't think it got too away and too ridiculous. Because it really could have. I mean, they really could have stressed the comedy part and just did some really stupid stuff. But I thought that while they had some fun with the bear here and there and gave you some time to laugh at a couple of things he did, the bear is also equally as aggressive and on the attack. And they mix that very, very well. And, sometimes it was in between scenes, kind of coming and going, and then other times it was in the middle of the scenes. So definitely credit them for that, for not really ruining it and really making it a stupid movie. But not only with the bear, but with the characters around the bear. Some of them weren't the smartest, the sharpest tools in the shed. But again, I didn't think there were too many of them that were just so stupid that kind of dragged the movie down and kind of take it in that kind of stupid, a stupid comedy kind of movie. So I kind of credit them for kind of keeping it that way. It is, the cop that's on the case, he's okay. He's, not the sharpest cop. He's got this thing going on with the dog. I'll let you guys see that going on. Some of the drug dealers, partners that go out looking for the bear, they have their issues. There's a little bit of comedy with each of the characters, and but nothing that kind of drags them into totally a stupid character. Like I said, the young girl and the young boy who got in the forest, the boy is pretty funny, and he's going to say some weird things and some things that you might not expect him to say. But yeah, he's got a good personality, and what's going to happen is the girl, they're going to come across the bear, they're going to get split up, and of course the mom is going to freak out because, hey, where's my daughter? So she's going to go out in the forest and be looking for them. So you're going to have those looking for the little girl, you're going to have those looking for the drugs, and and then the bear is going to interact here and there. So that's the basis of what's going on here. Like I said, if this is, it doesn't say horror, but there's horror. The bear is going to get bloody with several people and rip some people apart. You're going to see body parts, you're going to see blood. I thought overall the special effects were pretty good. You can kind of tell they are special effects or a little bit off here or there, but I still didn't think it took away. I think all in all the bear was pretty realistic all the way. I think they had someone playing the bear. I don't know if he played the bear the entire time or they used a real bear at any point. Again, no research on this end. I don't know. I know they, I don't know the budget on this, so I don't know if they budgeted for a real bear to be in some scenes and then an actor in others or whatever. I don't know. But either way, it turns out pretty well. The mix whenever the bear is attacking somebody and ripping them apart. It's not too bad. It's not terrible CGI that we see in some of these damn shark movies. Well done again. Shark movies got to do better. But I think you guys like it from that standpoint and that horror standpoint. And I will just say The ambulance scene in this movie is my favorite scene. I've seen, I mentioned it on Twitter. Some other people who saw it also loved it. Some other people also mentioned it. That was a fabulous scene, and even just prior to them getting into the ambulance, everything about that was fabulous. Again, from a horror standpoint, also very good. That was a good mix of horror, comedy, and dramatic and kind of thrilling kind of scene there for everything that happened there. So everything that kind of went on from that, and maybe even a little bit before that, was really good. We'll just say, kind of when the ranger goes back to the ranger house and the station, and then kind of regroups. From that point to the ambulance is really fun and probably one of the best sequences of the movie. But there are other good parts. The movie has a couple of surprises for you. I don't want to mention it because this is a fairly new movie, so I don't want to spoil it for you. There are, a few twists and turns. Maybe you guess it, maybe you didn't. I really wasn't thinking ahead. I actually saw the movie twice, which is a rare thing. I don't usually see it, but that kind of tells you that I kind of enjoyed it. One was by my choice to watch it. Another, I kind of got dragged into it, but I'm not gonna say dragged because I actually, enjoyed it, so it was fine seeing it a second time. So yeah, it will, by the time it comes to an end, it will have a surprise or two, or maybe three, depending. Maybe a little twist here. But it's a fun time, and I'm not sure if it was Ray's last movie, but he's Ray Liotta is in this movie. He plays the main drug guy here, and he does a pretty good job. He's not in the entire movie; he's here and there, but he does a good job. And like I said, there's some other familiar faces in this movie, and I thought, on a whole, everybody did a pretty good job here. And again, their characters were good, and their acting was good, and there's just a lot of good in this movie. So with that, I don't think I need to go too much further. I will just say I will give it 4 pools of blood out of 5. I think this is probably one of my favorite movies I've seen this year. I'm not going to say that, this will be a top 10 movie at the end of the year. I would certainly consider it. I kind of feel bad that they didn't put horror here in IMDb, and that doesn't mean I will disclude it because of that. But definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen so far this year. But we'll see. The year still got plenty of horror movies to come. But I definitely enjoyed it, so I definitely recommend you see it. I know a lot of people have, and I mean, how can you pass on it? I mean, I don't know. There is Cocaine Shark supposedly out there. Watch the trailer. I'm not watching that. Sorry. No offense to anybody who's done that movie or involved in that movie. I'm not dealing with the CGI. Just not happening. Supposedly there's an alligator movie also about drugs. I'm sure I think I was looking at it, there's other drugged out animal movies out there. But I guess those are 2 that are either, around, either have come out or coming out soon or in the works. I don't know. But if it's CGI heavy, really, pass. This one is not, so I think you guys will enjoy it. So yeah, Cocaine Bear, 4 pools of blood out of 5. I'm not on cocaine telling you that. Watch the movie. I enjoyed it. horrorreviews.blogspot.com is where you can find more reviews. Written and video reviews are there. But if you're just interested in the video reviews, please subscribe, like, thumbs up, down, whatever everybody wants you to do. If not, no problem. Twitter, Facebook, information down below as well. You can reach out to me there. You can talk about the ambulance scene, what other crazy movies there are coming out involving animals. You can also do that in the comment section. Let me know if of any of these other movies that I should be watching, not heavy on CGI, and if the ambulance scene or what other scene in this movie was your favorite. All down below. And I thank you as always for joining me, horror fans, and I will catch you on the next review.